It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers. So others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee... I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's going to find us here.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa While she walks upon the smuggler's moon, she is not to be harmed. Observe her, track her, but do not eclipse her movements, or I shall eclipse yours. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Tawachosimu poendo rakawa ichi rendumu parama kawana abawasi. You kroren wan mapusiti indolara.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa naret atamakcha.
Taranamo sibu indasarans, crema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Bo mababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada ber mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimurota kamsa. Javaskobo sabjo, rigiso carvenoxo, mochito sasa grindeyo, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa naret atamakcha. Tahupo botenya go jucho picha, gwem taba ni sochu, norotoga proto lalashishi, jubadosa jibacha, ratak mansan, tokosha na chitolo.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Goli rosodish, ranta kras mobas.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of. Sure, most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think. Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad. All right then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult. But this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have some things worthwhile. Well, that means finding either a bounty hunter, a ranking member of the Exchange, or someone willing to talk, none of which are too appealing. Bounty hunters in the Exchange are going to want to shoot you, and someone who is willing to talk to anyone, which means trouble.
The bounty is a waste of our efforts. All that matters is the Jedi. The intentions of the thugs of this moon are of no consequence.
It's up to you. There's bound to be someone in the sector willing to spill their guts for a credit or two. Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You! You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad! It'll be fine where it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. And by right, I mean you're wrong. Telling me it'll be fine where it is. What, you think I'm stupid? I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it? That's none of your business. All you need to know is that they're gonna be firing up their quad lasers if they find your ship squatting there when they arrive. Yeah, right now all I'm hearing is talk. How much you offering? Done! Pleasure doing business with you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
No, look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in. More where that came from. Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure. If you save me to cripple me again, then you're worse than they are. What do you want with me? Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately. The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it. You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing. Whatever your reasons, thanks.
I hear you.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need? Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands. And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another? The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target. Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist. Good. Mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
I have felt it too, my lord. A disturbance in the Force. It was difficult to make out, my lord. At first it was such a quiet thing. I did not notice it. But now I wonder if it has always been there. I merely could not hear it before. The sound built so slowly, yet when you listen for it, you can make out the strains, even over the background life of the universe. Do you feel it as a... You are the darkness in which all life dies, my lord. All life exists to feed your power. And my life is yours. I beg you, please. Let me die. Yes, this disturbance echoes through the Force. I can follow it to its source and bring it to you. I will leave at once, my lord.
Geraktada cemense bengar rukutoto unde chuchmamataso benkisha manensetse. Fela dibono ta munikranaktada. Terewana jung konata della raguno tunna. Dai rento run kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno totorere senesensen. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru katpada. Fiaratore pada no ringatel camarada telefibu numbu de bicarana cenirara.
Sulston's hearing's pretty sharp, if you couldn't guess from the lobes.
Va te vaca reware. Sumukun cere nurigrom. Mune idere riba con doso. Varinkeshka bunsa tilansomenta tasa. Der inturunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsadara nane gra dall'onuta choloren. Do rendisa gunik nasa farensenta sanki firwastawe. Terasta ferenseta nelalnan.
Big Ears here might know someone who can change the Ebon Hawk's ID signature. Could be useful for avoiding notice.
Terewana jung konata della raguno tunna. Dai rento run kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno totorere senesensen. Terewana jung konata della raguno tunna. Dai rento run kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemeno totorere senesensen. Der inturunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsadara nane gra dall'onuta choloren. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru katpada. Fiaratore pada no ringatel camarada telefibu numbu de bicarana cenirara. Ona jun senesensen drawice canel commercio telefibu nolot.
Tratosapton, Telsim Babanusan Lurtoa, the Genisha Belanki, the Rawinch, Ifrit Malastrindosh, Granashki the Runsabarati, the Ponsukuniki. Mekrana Guasolomikits, Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini, the Genisha Belanki, the Rawinch, Ifrit Malastrindosh. Granashki the Runsabarati, the Ponsukuniki. Mekrana Guasolomikits, Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini. Funis, Svindelagsti, Lindrost of Ast, Banakas. Funis, Svindelagsti, Mekrana Guasolomikits, Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini. Funis, Svindelagsti. Mekrana Guasolomikits, Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini. Funis, Svindelagsti. Mekrana Guasolomikits, Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini. The Genisha Belanki, the Rawinch, Ifrit Malastrindosh, Granashki the Runsabarati, the Ponsukuniki. Belech the Ponsa, Kuniki Karatanadra. Melinodrossis of the Muth. Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini. Voor Belandash, with the news the Vilank produced, the post the Kalanga and Gok the Langa Son and the Lunasara, Belech the Ponsa, Kuniki Karatanadra, Melinodrossis of the Muth. Simbertha, Nemrakta, Shusafrangamalakta, Talini. The Genisha Belanki, the Rawinch, Ifrit Malastrindosh, Granashki the Runsabarati, the Ponsukuniki. Lindrost of Ast, Banakas. Funis, Svindelagsti. Lindrost of Ast, Banakas.
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship. It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars. We'll see about that. Watch yourself. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
Graci ubaci kompadwana muska na boska wamba.
Relieva con Tosha, Mancho Carlema con Jorre Bimasa, Ifred Kandash, Blade, Simron Chore Granum.
Nora hagwa buska yokolo alaubaka.
Hara hinemas temadana hisnasta hiha. Charno, Octos, Nerema Keras, Karanara Kakera de Simandikirana. Tratosapton, Telsim Babanusan Lurtoa.
More where that came from. More where that came
Let us end this.
Time to sneak you down the side. More where that came from. Everyone down!
Dawachosimu poendorakawa ichirendu momopa ramakawana abawasi. Yukroren wan mapusiti indolara. Dawachosimu poendorakawa ichirendu momopa ramakawana abawasi. Yukroren wan mapusiti indolara. Bomababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada ber mabarchokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meborokra. Bomababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada ber mabarchokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meborokra. Taranamo sibu indasarans. Crema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Dawachosimu poendorakawa ichirendu momopa ramakawana abawasi. Yukroren wan mapusiti indolara. Taranamo sibu indasarans. Crema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them like a shiver running through you. It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare. I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force. Their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life. Strange? Perhaps. Perhaps not. It is but the vibration of minds driven by life's struggles. The struggle to feed, to take, to mate, to fight. It is the way of things. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination. Not in the sense you understand it. The ability to fool the minds of others, to dominate them on a massive scale that you speak of, is not achieved best through raw power. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment for as long as it will last.
Doverenincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Wanatu mobayes? Dorcha no bankani honkades? Torsenta winoto. Tonotucha. Tocha ramakaka musuran kana.
Oh, hello. You have caught me at a rare time. Usually there are many players who seek to play, but you are fortunate to have caught me at a moment of quiet. I fear it is because I am simply not a skilled Pazak player. I'm afraid protocol droid skills and language interpretation are not something that lend themselves to Pazak and probability. Why, I cannot help myself. In fact, every time I seek to find the answer to that question, I am consumed with the need to come here and play Pazak. I am concerned that the problem may lie with my memory core. Without routine memory wipes, you know, such degradation is known to occur, leading to instabilities. I fear my obsession with Pazak is one such corruption. I am not sure I wish it fixed. I do find some degree of satisfaction in playing. Would you like to play?
Yeah, maybe if the droid's not very good, there's some credits to be made here.
Oh, most certainly, sir. I am not a good player. Quite the mark, as it were. Oh, hello. I'm not.
Yeah?
Oh. Why, you are quite correct. If you are indeed skilled, then I would not mind a quick look.
Febko emareyam ga watasito insula rakarakachata. Tamaso kinchuda wanka. Mopi una wana si chokoratawa. Tonos emaragith. Wana rakora chi drumka sa inchobin sasha. Tosimana rachata. Tonos emaragith. Wana rakora chi drumka sa inchobin sasha. Tosimana rachata.
Hawaii Twiwa to turn over there much that the Manira never put our the dividends never the Tunura and all the Nilas no the Howda.
Loka kamaran endoso ran with no chabi. Tu rantamana sobu.
Hawaii Twiwa to turn over there much that the Manira never put out.
Oh.
Tarachomo sincho cavavolpa muliji kumanaminta barawamba michedos kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura tayaita ta bosananansata unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone dovrei kun miliwosa slima po wanga sawana mucha. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura tayaita ta bosananansata dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke hiata yamba wajiyake yukito tune Ta come tak, playa justing, miki gongo beaste. Kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha. Que chubo grayo bog no cada itapa titsa tong merinita. Monsikuno bosh tunabug samina nun forote mitisi minro agorunto dovrei kun mili wosa slima pogwanga samoana mucha Chone mullera ton kinge ba no jansaka nikaraska tancha nik de mawimbo kranta mi bilan Dovrei kun mili wosa slima pogwanga samoana mucha. Da hupa bossa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Dovrei kun mili wosa slima pogwanga samoana mucha. Tonino ba pinko ne yaka. Chuba picha tuna yuma mochinawa. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatora. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatora. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Watagritog jimulira. Nicho dankanau.
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatora. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Entomesh mi paju watamincha yokolondoado nukulabirawa. Tines un soto.
Greetings. I am B5D8. How may I assist you? This is a warehouse privately owned by Voga the Hutt. Your specific business-related inquiries will have to be directed to Voga himself. I am not authorized to disclose any information of that nature. However, I can say that this is an entirely droid-operated facility, and as such, we purchase droids for use here. We only purchase droids in larger amounts. If you have a droid you wish to sell, I would ask that you take it to Codin.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimorota kamsa javaskobo sabjo rijiso karvenokso mochitosa sagrindeyo Herinocha minaradocha kawanadumpa kankarebe
Chikaris Batkoki. Ograkin unchupagrat wikile Johnny. Nauchikachi ayubonta. Mana matoea. Dobra kinun chubagrat wikele Johnny. Wichibolano. Patisaka tunta shok. Una turung kilatria. Ta chom duchong nao. Botmalia lechona jichiska. Una corda saborako. Dobra kinun chubagrat wikele Johnny. Wichibolano. Yomawa mani boba. Lorda wishwanga shachi. Chichiskabula. Tapicha yubon. Yunbula. Chichiskabula. Tapicha yubon. Yunbula. Watagritog jimulira. Nicho dankanau.
Oh, looks like the Jedi raised their standards. Hanhar, I thought I smelled something. I've told you before, hunt your own targets. Don't scavenge mine. What, working for the Hutt suddenly made you stupider, Hanhar? You touch me, you'll break the truce, and then you won't last long enough to slip off this moon. Don't, Hanhar. I'm warning you. I don't want your life dead, Hanhar. I told you. Yeah, you're right. I'm afraid. I'm afraid if you keep crushing me, I'll accidentally set off my rocket charges and blow us both to Nal Hutta. I'd rather die than be caught by you again, Hanhar.
Uba poska dwana, chichuba muska tichada.
Not a very good idea, entering a Mandalorian's room uninvited. Why don't you back up to the point where you were standing outside the door and rethink your decision? There are a few of us in the galaxy. Now, what do you want? Enjoy yourself.
Dobry czubawasz, Gitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokioke, Ninja.
Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayranganoroto, dosimana rachata. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Tenanjara, tomachunga, karota. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Nunch kawana sicho, ranabamanga kan. Mopigawa Josi Mukchoto. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayranganoroto, dosimana rachata. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Kroto no ranga manatandi koroto. Mopiuna wana si chin si wano bosh. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayranganoroto, dosimana rachata. Nunchka wanasicho ranabamanga kan. Mopigawa Josi Mukchoto. Posa non chirinta masukin kurawanka. Posong chinsun mi karanga do maichonga. Tu es recto na tu insula raka rakachat. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayranganoroto, dosimana rachata. Kroto no ranga manatandi koroto. Mopiuna wana si chin si wano bosh. Posa non chirinta masukin kurawanka. Posong chinsun mi karanga do maichonga. Tu es recto na tu insula raka rakachat. Nunchka wana sicho ranabamanga kan. Mopigawa Josi Mukchoto. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Minsukray masukun ratungala. Meron tono junsa raka roto. Minsukun rakawata. Poendo rakamana sobu. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi.
Bundas stärker, bundas där kärlfatser, bundas. Men bundas, hoisidan kelfa, papuelta, kelfa vaninokan kelfa. Men bundas, hoisidan kelfa, papuelta. Sidan kelfa vaninokan kelfa, lindan ufta. Rentundas, Norisidan Gelfa, Fabuelta. Gelfa Vanino Gan Gelfa.
I don't know who you are, but you picked the wrong room to break into. We'll see about that. If it's a coffin you're looking for, this room's more your size.
Are psychotic urges all that drives you?
I don't know what even came over me. One second we were just standing there talking, and then...
I am not speaking to you, fool. Be silent. I would examine the situation as a whole, all of its ties to the Force, and then decide which string to pull, not sever them all at once. Such crude methods grant you nothing. Perhaps, and perhaps in the future, you will remember such a lesson. There are many paths in life, and some are short and empty. Oh, I grow weary of this. Perhaps time will allow my words to take root, if your common sense will not permit it.
Bograsyong kontichaum, King Lord Aitha kun, Aitha patisa tong diakon batot kaun, Chona choba. Tapi chayubong, Jijiskapule, Junbole, Watagratug, Jimula. Chupayubong labograturong, Agtichimait, Muleran yun chuba. Nihun kagratug, Jimut maliyabist wet wata. Jiji, naudung chong yomabala yuman. Yomawama ni boba, Lorda wish wanga shachi. Nihun kagratug, Jimut maliyabist wet wata. Jiji, naudung chong yomabala yuman. Chopiti man punjame. Sashange bedwana mulera, Chupawanga kuna kontija, Chona konasa. Chopiti man punjame. Sashange bedwana mulera, Chupawanga kuna kontija, Chona konasa.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. But oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient. How did you do that? Stay away from me!
And what is it you think you have accomplished? If you seek to aid everyone that suffers in the galaxy, you will only weaken yourself and weaken them. It is the internal struggles, when fought and won on their own, that yield the strongest rewards. You stole that struggle from them, cheapened it. If you care for others, then dispense with pity and sacrifice, and recognize the value in letting them fight their own battles. And when they triumph, they will be even stronger for the victory. That is all I ask.
Graci ubaci kompadwana muska na boska wamba. Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa, bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma. Bornacinin sopa maranka wongo kumbiaste. Tonga buga shame zanini chonkai chitera rizza sabata. Tiumpe, dove punta crita gino muleranni bono. Ichiret kurangata inkuntanga waikereuro tawa. Yato kauluan. Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa, bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma. Muliwrawa iberendia tia Vishnu nunga se, utati ramata mandrakotu sa minaringkadin.
Abot Malea Nois.
Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata chi luma lispa. Huta yanolia, jukta gene chuba wonki na jung winoton ma no miurita.
Sinta tita krom, doci pato non è noto?
Kavadumpa, mo wendido chokerembi norta kunyun wish chawaka chuba, sura dachi morotuko kansa.
Tu, nici mangia yumar lorda wata, no sanazika. Dovrei kun mili wosa slima po wanga samoana mucha. Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone. Dovrei kun mili wosa slima po wanga samoana mucha. Da hupa, bossa curata, go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune.
Something up? All right, what did you want to know? Yeah, that's a surprise. Did he say I owed him credits too? I'm as Atten will ever be. And whoever your trusted informant is, he's right. I did show up on Nar Shaddaa during the Jedi Civil War, along with a lot of other refugees. No, because you're asking about it. If I wanted to tell you anything, I would have come and told you. Anything else? Is this an interrogation? If so, you're terrible at it, especially for an ex-Jedi, or whatever you are. Why don't you just crawl in my head and try to dig out whatever you're looking for rather than asking about it? You know what? I helped you get off Veragus. If I hadn't been there, you wouldn't have even gotten off the administration level. I'm trying to help you. I don't know why I'm bothering. I don't know. I'm not sure I understand it half the time. You know what? Not once have I asked you about the Mandalorian Wars. Not once. I heard about Duxon. Everyone has. I heard about Serico, and I sure as hell know about Malachor 5. What makes you think you've got the right to interrogate me on anything? You've got plenty of lives to answer for. All you Jedi do. How did you even live with yourself after Malachor? Is that why you went back to the Jedi Council? Hoping they'd kill you? Wasn't it? Maybe you thought they'd forgive you. Sure, you might have thought they'd execute you. But Jedi don't kill, do they? At least not their prisoners. Maybe you were counting on it when you went back in chains. So you got off easy. You were exiled, brushed under the cargo ramp. Another dirty little Jedi secret. I'll tell you, all those Jedi at Malachor, they deserved it. Every last one of them. Because Jedi lie, and they manipulate, and every act of charity or kindness they do, you can drag it out squirming into the light and see it for what it is. The galaxy doesn't need Jedi arrogance or Jedi hypocrisy anymore. At least the Sith are honest about what they're killing for. The Jedi are pacifists, except in times of war. They're teachers, except when it comes to telling their students the truth. And when they save you, it's only so you can suffer more. Whatever, just leave me alone. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you anyway. Well, don't get too attached to me. I don't like it. Well, you haven't seen anything yet. I have this habit. I'm a deserter. It's what I do. Served in both of them. Against the Mandalorians, before and after Revan, and again, when Revan declared war on the Jedi. Because I followed orders. But it was more than that. You were there. You knew how easy it was to hate the Jedi who sat back in the Republic, evaluating the threat, and watched us die against the Mandalorians. Because you can't believe in the Republic anymore after the Mandalorian Wars. After Revan, nothing was the same. Right after that final battle at Malachor, I was right there with the rest of the defectors, because it was the right thing to do. The Mandalorians were slaughtering us by the millions. The millions. You were at Serico, when they turned the Stayrib cities into glass craters. At Duro, when basilisk war droids rained like meteors onto the orbiting cities, and when the Mandalorians set fire to the Zoxan plains on Ares III, the fires that still burn. Without the Jedi who turned on the Council, without you, the Republic would have lost the war, and we would all be Mandalorian slaves or corpses. We were loyal to Revan. That was enough. She saved us. It's another story, and it's nothing I feel like talking about. I did a lot of things I'm not proud of, and I couldn't do it anymore.
This is Serico territory. Get out of here before we space you. Got it? We are. Now beat it.
Greetings. Are you the spacer we were told about? Oh, we were expecting one of the pilots from the docks sometime soon to come and get us off Nar Shaddaa. He's late. I don't know where he is. Thank you. To be honest, I don't even know his name. Some guy named Planor said he had a pilot friend who would take us for 500 credits. It's been over a week. I hope nothing has happened to him. Thank you. I'm beginning to lose hope that we'll ever get out of here.
Monsikuno bosh tunabug samina nun forote mitisi mingro agorunto kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura tayaita ta bosananansata ta kometa kablaya justing miki gongo beaste kun grabi la king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha Punta chivita inka ki kraya na chawanga kone.
Are you one of Sakwesh's men? Did you take my daughter? Don't you work with Sakwesh? He took my daughter, Adana, to sell to the Hutts. All because I told him I could not pay his tribute. I owe Sakwesh 600 credits. I don't have enough. Thank you. Thank you. Please hurry. After the Hutts have her, it will be impossible to find her.
More where that came from. Time to take you down to size.
I hear you.
I noticed.
Who are you? One of Saquesh's calf hounds? Adana. My mom made the mistake of telling Sakwesh he couldn't sell me to the Huts, so he took me. Really? Oh, why didn't you say so? Oh, sorry about those things I said to you. You do look a little like a calf hound, though. Oh, goody, I was hoping I'd get to sit in this cell a little longer.
Everyone down!
Yeah. Precisa moslusa la asinoimia. Mucha vida movilidad de
This is Serico territory. Get out of here before we space you. Got it? That's a laugh. Look, blow out of here like space dust, or you'll be a new stain on the cargo hold. All right, you can go see him.
I heard you've been looking for me. Yeah? What about the exchange? We can hold our own against them. Not that it's your concern. Do you now? Suppose I were interested. What's this plan of yours? That would be suicidal. Almost as suicidal as you're making that absurd suggestion.
Everyone get down!
I hear you. More where that came from.
Yes?
Just say the word.
What is it? What is it?
I hear you. More where that came from. More where that came from. More where that came from.
I hear you.
More where that came from. More where that came from. Just say the word.
What is it?
Hey, you look like a spacer. You work at the docks?
Because if you need a crew, I'm your man. I flew during the Mandalorian Wars, and again during the Jedi Civil War. Yes, and look where I ended up. You need a pilot's license to fly the freighters here. They're tough to get without sponsorship. I'd greatly appreciate that.
Did you find us a... Please.
Hey, any luck? Thanks.
Keep back. I am ill. Contagious, the others say. Really? The others say I have the plague. I'm feeling a little better. Thank you.
I guess the Jedi Code is still alive and well. If you say so, I'm not sure I believe it. There's a lot of people who need help in the galaxy. If we stop to help each one, the Sith are gonna be on us faster than anything. Let's just accomplish our mission first, then worry about everyone else.
Let's see, 3 bricks of spice out to Elysia, then with a turnaround, no, that won't work. Come act! Here so soon? I wasn't expecting you for... well, not now, anyway. Yeah, well, I tried to explain that, you see, but, I had no choice. These thugs showed up, and they said that you could go space yourselves. And I was like, no, this is the Red Eclipse, and...
Sarda chornilo tabe duana mataka nus do gulupan. Daka prota gocha jarko mati sochpan lorcha. Yota chi sabarinish. Mishasa Jurun Maba Kodu Soto Mekogariti Jacolo Mebomas Machitu Pachama Chalawaba Dona Sinto Norakipa Shakani Koparodunga Nimisindo Shoka Mushka Meturundi Juba Memesing Ratzakman Rata Tonoranga Manakaran, Ipo Inshawa.
Donos imeragi. Tonoranda manakaran. Ipo inshawa. Mababe want to susi tu mukarata. Tu esrecto natada be mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra. Machabi doko. Tonoranda manachunga.
Sotoe ringe frite de ducha por samba sutna kaplavie tinya del ciro runta gamsa. Rishunko jova nincha chimba paksi tre duju si juju pitie primtaba nin sochu.
More where that came from. More where that came from. Everyone down! More where that came from! More where that came from!
What is it? Yes.
Just say the word.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours. Kill me. I beg you. It was not my wish to challenge you. And I must pay the price. I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy. Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? That's a new one. I'm not sure how you'd go about killing one. It'd be tricky. Just mentioning it, she looks like she's suffered enough wounds already, even after the beating you gave her. I heard they had a colony on the Mid-Rim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why. Well, it was a planet of her people. If they see through the Force, who knows? If they're all Force-sensitive, maybe they all saw something through the Force that we can't see, and they left before it happened. Or maybe it killed them. They claim to see on a higher plane than we do. You know, the whole Force thing makes me nervous. Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
my life for yours. I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek. The scars are many and the causes equally so. It is of no importance. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you. I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same, the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will answer. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. But nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished, it was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world. I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Qatar, and my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, And yet somehow, I remained. My master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world. And there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own. And he made me see. And for the first time, I saw the galaxy. And I wished to die. To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarmed through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them. He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Qatar, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me. He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. I will answer what... My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well. My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people. My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain. Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask, why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me. You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me. So you say, but it is not something I have observed or seen. Very well. Perhaps we shall speak more of this at another time. But know this, I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
I didn't want to talk about the war, but can I ask you something? Why did you decide to fight? I felt the same way. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall. I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them, to give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt? It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me, turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench.